everybody, how's it going? This is Darrin with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson, and today I want to teach you how to play Wheel in the Sky by Journey. So this is a pretty cool song. It has a lot of cool riffs and stuff in it. The intro on it just sounds really good, and it's one of those things that sounds a lot harder than it actually is. It does involve a little bit of finger picking, so if that's new to you, we'll try to go through that the best we can to help you along with that. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look. Alright, so starting off for this intro, like I said, it's got it's kind of a finger style thing. You could play it with a pick, but you would have to hybrid pick to be able to play the strings that you're playing simultaneous. And I'm a lot better of a finger picker than I am a hybrid picker, so this is just the way that I do it. So we start off, we've got a D minor, but it is, unfortunately, it's not the open one, it is a bar chord. So I've got my first finger barred across the first 5 strings of the 5th fret. My second finger is on the 6th fret of the B string. My third finger is on the 7th fret of the D string, and my 4th finger is on the 7th fret of the G string. Now I'm going to pick, this pretty much is completely contained to strings 2 through 5. So if you play your thumb on the the A string, and your first finger on the D string, your second finger on the G string, and your third finger on the B string. So we're going to start off, we're going to pick the B and A strings simultaneous, and then the G string, and then the D string. Then we have E minor, so we just take this shape and we move it up a whole step, and now we're going to pick the B and A string again, and then quickly move to an F major. So for the F major, we just move this shape up a half step, so now we're barring at the 8th fret, and then how I do is I just lay my third finger across the 10th fret of the D, G, and B string. And you hit those, the A and B together, to the G, to the B, back to the G. So that's the first measure. Now we're going to take that shape, that F major bar chord shape, we're going to move it all the way down, so we're barring at the 3rd fret with our first finger and the 5th fret with our 3rd finger, and that's C major. So now we've got B and A together, to the G and then D, back to the B, and then we're going to do C suspended 4. So you just keep this chord shape and just use your pinky to pick up the 6th fret of the B string, and we're going to pick that and then do a pull off back to the 5th fret, followed by the G string, and then we're going to do C suspended 2. So now I just roll my 3rd finger up, so that way the B string, I'm picking it up on the 3rd fret where I'm barring. And we're going to do that and then hammer back to the 5th fret, and then follow that with the G string. So that's the first 2 measures. Okay, then going on to the 3rd measure, we start off the same way again with that D minor, E minor, F. Now it says on there to a C, but it's a different C. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to move our finger, our first finger, right now we're barring at the 8th fret. We're going to move it up, so we're going to pick up the low E also. So we're still barring on the 8th fret, but now we've got the major chord with the root note on the 6th string. So barring across 8 with my first finger, my second finger is going on to the 9th fret of the G string, my third finger is going on to the 10th fret of the A string, and my 4th finger is going on to the 10th fret of the D string. And now we're going to go both E's simultaneous, to B, to G, back to the E string. So then take your pinky and move it up to the 10th fret of the E string and play the D and E strings together, and then pull off back to the B string. Then you put your pinky down on the 10th fret of the B string and pull that off, and then it ends on the D string. Okay, so that whole measure again. This is one of the hardest parts of the whole song. And you just kind of slide out of it. But I never really do that because it's like really hard to get it quick enough. I just hit that note and then move, because it just immediately moves on. So. Back down to the C here again. Now we're going to hit the C, it's like a power chord, and slide it down to the 1st fret. And then this is where it actually picks up and switch over to the overdrive channel. So I'm not going to be able to make this change in real time, unfortunately. But basically, like I said, I'm playing with my fingers. So if I was doing this, I would probably just be holding the pick just in my mouth, so that way I can do this. And then when I do that last part, come down to there, and that where I slide down is on the very last 16th note of 4, and then that's where you would switch over to the overdrive. And now we're just going to do a full-on B flat. So if we take the shape like we did for the C here, but we just move it down a whole step, and it's a whole note tied to a dotted half note. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then we've got these pickup notes where it goes into this kind of the main riff of the song. So we've got open A string to the 3rd fret, and then to the 3rd fret of the D string, and then the D string open. So now we've got a D5. So if you just take the regular old D chord, you already know, but you just don't play the 1st string. So I just kind of let my 2nd finger just kind of rest there, so that way it's muted. Now this part here, the timing on this is really kind of weird, and it's really hard to get it precisely. There's parts where he's only hitting 2 strings and he hits 3 strings. So just as long as you're not hitting, hitting all these lower strings, you're just kind of playing at the top of the chord, you'll be fine. So and then take your 1st finger off the 2nd fret of the G string, and you're going to strum the G and B together, and then hammer it back on, pick it again, and then back to the B string again. And then that just kind of repeats. That's like the whole intro, and then that's where it leads into the verse. All right, so the verse just continues off with that same thing we were doing. After it does that a total of 3 times, I believe, on the verse, then we just stay on that G, and then we got a C bar chord, and that's a whole note, and then you move it down a half step for B flat, and it's a half note tied to an 8th note, and then the G string open. This part is like kind of weird. So you got the open G string, and then you put your 3rd finger down as if you were playing the D chord, so we're on the 3rd fret of the B string, and you're going to hit the open G and the B string together twice, and then take your 2nd finger off and play both the strings open. So, and it just kind of goes back into that same riff. So. And then that's the whole verse, and then that whole entire sequence repeats. And then it would repeat from there. So then that leads us into the chorus section. All right, so for the chorus section, it's like the intro, it's those chords, but we're just going to be strumming them now. So we start off with the D minor, 1, 2, and then on the and of 2, we go to the E minor. And then on the downbeat of 3, we go to the F. And then on 4, we go to the F and slide out of it. So 1, 2, and 3, 4. Then we're down here to the C, and it's 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. So it's 3/4 notes and a 16th note and then a dotted 8th note. So it's just kind of, you kind of have to feel it. So back to the D minor again. E minor, F. Back to the C again. So this time we've got 1, 2, 3 E and 4 E and. Back to the D minor, E minor, F, C, and then back down to the B flat. And then that just leads back into like another verse. All right, so those are all the parts. It's another song that, you know, it's just got all these different parts. It's really easy after you know the parts to be able to like recognize which ones are which from the song and put it all together. So it's a cool song. I think Neil Sean's a great guitar player, and he comes up with some like really cool melodies and stuff. Big fan of his playing. All right, so there you have it. There's Wheel in the Sky by Journey, all of the parts. So now you can put it together and play through the whole song. So if you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this or other guitar-related subjects. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.